What's up, Trips?
Hey, Brian.
Crazy. We are talking about the end of the year already. Seems every year goes by faster and faster, but today we're talking about 9 year-end planning ideas for 2022. We have a blog post up for people who want more details. That's at boyd-wealth.com/blog, but we'll just give you the quick hits today. You want to start with number one, maximize your retirement.
So it's easy to get caught up thinking about 2023 now that we have the new numbers, but pretty important to make sure that you've done everything that you want to do for 2022 before the calendar rolls over. First thing we're looking at is just making sure that you maximize your retirement contributions. If you're in a 401k, you have either $20,500 that you can put in to the plan if you're 49 or under, or $27,000 that you could put into the plan if you're 50 or older. And if you're using a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, those limits are $6,000 and $1,000 for the year. Two important dates here. The 401k contributions need to be in by 12/31. The IRA contributions, you can wait until April 15th, but we really encourage people, get your contributions done before the end of the year if you can.
Very good. Let's move on to number two, maximize your HSA.
Same idea here. We've got some new limits for 2023, but you have time to get your 2022 HSA contributions in if you haven't already.
And we should probably talk about real quick why the HSA is one of the most powerful savings vehicles, right? Pre-tax contributions, tax-deferred growth, and then, of course, the ability to pull the money out tax-free for qualified medical expenses. So if you're part of a high-deductible health plan, we've got the definitions will be on the website, but don't forget to contribute to your HSA. It's a pretty powerful tool.
Full tax benefits.
All right. Number three, maximize your charitable contributions.
So if you are anticipating a larger than expected income year, it may be a good year to look at doing something that's called bunching with your charitable contributions. And we've written about this before, but the simple idea is that you're front loading your charitable contributions that you would normally make over a 5 or a 10-year period and taking advantage of the full deduction in 1 year through a donor advised fund. The second thing to think about before the end of the year is donating some appreciated securities to a donor advised fund. You get the full tax benefit without having to pay taxes on those unrealized gains.
That's a great point. Number four, don't forget about your RMDs.
Yeah. This is your first year taking an RMD. You need to take this RMD before April 1st of next year. For everybody else, you need to make sure that the money is out of your IRA, 401k, et cetera, before the year turns over. So make sure that the money's out before 12/31, or else there are some pretty significant penalties that you'll owe. One nice thing that we got a few years ago in the Secure Act is the ability for people over 70 and a half to be able to make IRA contributions if they still have earned income. If that's your case, look at taking advantage of making an IRA contribution.
All right, let's move on to number five, gifting to loved ones.
We got some nice bumps in the overall exemptions, both on an annual basis and a lifetime basis in 2023. Notably, the annual gift exclusion went from $16,000 to $17,000 per beneficiary, per gifter. So when you add those numbers up, they add up to a pretty significant amount that you can gift to your beneficiaries. Quick example, a husband and wife with 2 married children and 4 grandchildren could gift $256,000 in 2022, just using their annual gift exemption when you do the math.
Huge benefit. If you want to get some money out of your estate, it's a great way to avoid gift taxes and gift, of course, to your loved ones. All right. How about number 6? Make a QCD or qualified charitable distribution.
This is another one of those that needs to be done before the end of the year. So anyone who's over 70 and a half and has an IRA is eligible to make up to a $100,000 qualified charitable distribution. The really nice thing about doing a QCD is it doesn't hit your tax return. The money goes straight to the charity, and you're able to directly offset any RMDs that you don't need to spend.
All right, number 7, tax loss harvesting. There is a silver lining to a normal down year in markets. So let's talk about it.
So if you're paying attention to your portfolio, you can look to actively take tax losses in the portfolio, replace that with a similar but different security, and then you can bank those tax losses to either use against future gains in your same portfolio, or you could use that elsewhere, whether that's the sale of the business, the sale of a rental property, et cetera, that has a capital gain associated with it. You can use those banked losses to help offset the gains elsewhere in your portfolio.
Yeah, we've got a whole article write up on it also on the blog. But another great use of tax losses is to finally diversify out of a concentrated stock position, something you've been wanting to diversify out of anyways. You can use all or a portion of those tax losses to finally get into that diversified portfolio.
It sure is. And for the portfolios that we're managing, this is just part of what we're doing as a normal course of managing the portfolio.
All right, number 8, how about a Roth conversion?
So one of the other silver linings in having any kind of bad market is that your income may be down, whether that's from the securities in the portfolio or something going on in your business. And we encourage people to review with their accountant if this is an abnormally low tax year. Does it make sense to convert some of your taxable IRA or 401k dollars into Roth dollars so that you can potentially withdraw that money tax-free in retirement?
Recognize some income in that 10 or 12% bracket and pay no taxes on it when you pull it out when you get back to a 24, 32, 36% bracket. Arbitrage.
The idea is, rather than focusing on one tax year, how do you lower the total amount of taxes that you pay over your life?
All right, let's move on to number 9. Update your beneficiary designations.
While there's no year-end date associated with updating a beneficiary, it's usually a good time to go in and review who you've named as the beneficiaries for your IRA, your life insurance, et cetera, because whoever is named on that form is who will get the money if you pass away. There's actually been a lot of litigation around this, where an ex-spouse is listed as the beneficiary. Someone gets remarried, 20 years later, they pass away. Their new spouse is not able to receive that money because the ex-spouse was listed as the beneficiary. So whoever's on that form is ultimately who receives that money if you pass away. So it's a very important planning issue to get correct.
Well done. Hopefully one or more of these tips helps you. Certainly, if you have any questions, reach out to Ryan or I. As the kids would say, if you liked this video or you think it'll be of some help, go ahead and smash that like button. And we wish you the best in the end of the year.